Hello my friends, today we have some awesome news from the Bakhmut area for Ukrainian side. Well, first of all, Russia is not moving towards the city. If we go to the timeline, you might see that they moved a little just 3 days ago, and from that moment they just stuck in that area. It means that the resistance policy is still working and Ukrainian side successfully withstand the Russian attacks in the city itself. I am very surprised about it because in one of my latest videos I told that it's better to get out from the Bakhmut city, but now for me it's like a miracle that our forces were able to stop Wagner's in the city. Yes, and obviously the situation is the hardest possible. It's very difficult for our guys to withstand. We have severe losses, and on my opinion it doesn't worth it to fight for this particular city, but our military command knows better, and still our soldiers have the order to withstand against the Russian aggression in this particular city. So because Russia is unable to get the city under their control, they start to advance in different directions in those areas where it's easy to do so. If we go to the timeline, you see the Russian advancement towards the northwest side of the area, and they haven't captured any villages or something, but they're taking some sort of the ground, and that gives them the tactical advantage in the area. Guys, we also have the second good news about the Bakhmut city, but before we go to it, let me tell you a few words about the sponsor of today's video and the long-term partner of my channel, the Atlas VPN. Recently they came out with a big deal, especially for my followers, where you can get the huge discount if you purchase the Atlas VPN Premium for just $183 per month. And let me tell you why the Atlas VPN is the best VPN out there. You may hear that I'm not the native English speaker, and what helps me to improve my English? Honestly, watching the live shows on Netflix. My favorite series to study is Friends, but it's not available in my country, but then I turn on the Atlas VPN. Well, it is now available for me. I also rent my current house with a great discount using Atlas VPN. For example, Booking doesn't have the fixed price and it may vary depends on your country. So by changing your virtual location, you may find the best price. Atlas VPN encrypts your data so it's out of reach by the government, annoying ads or hackers. And yes, believe me, your personal account may be vulnerable, especially when you use the public Wi-Fi. Atlas VPN has the breach monitoring service that helps to prevent the hacking of your devices, so then I see the warning message, I disconnect from the public Wi-Fi. Atlas VPN helps me to access services and websites which are blocked in my country. I know why, but Patreon is one of them. My friends, and now please check out the link below where you can sign up for the 3 years offer for $183 per month, where you can have 83% of discount together with 3 months for free. This limited offer is available with my personal link and it expires next month, my friends, so hurry up to join the club. So the good news that Ukraine sends more reinforcements to the Bakhmut and probably preparing the counterattack operation. Let me show you the video. So this video was filmed from the car. This is the column that is going to the Bakhmut. Those Humvees that you saw at first are without any turrets and probably used as the supply tracks. And here you can see lots of the armored vehicles. I wonder what is that modification. Sorry my friends, it's hard to say for me personally. Plus we have this image with armored vehicles, and for sure they're very close to the Bakhmut city. So our guys are somewhere here near to the Chasiv Yar, on this road, probably on the way to the Bakhmut city, and some of the Russian Z patriots, after watching those videos with the Ukrainian columns, say that Russia should use aviation to destroy those columns, but Russia is unable to use their tactical bombers or attack airplanes because we also placed the anti-aircraft systems very close to the front lines in Bakhmut. And not long time ago, this week, Ukrainian Buk shot down the Russian Sukhoi Su-24 tactical bomber. And it was not even over Ukrainian-controlled territory. We shut it down far behind the front lines, over the occupied area. Plus, we started to use Avengers based on the Humvees. This is the short-range anti-aircraft system that also helps to fight against helicopters or low-level flight airplanes. So Russian army is unable to use Sukhoi Su-25s against Ukrainian armored vehicles as it was before. Just to remind you, Wagner army also has Sukhoi's Su-25 attack airplanes. And those are the remains of the Russian Sukhoi Su-24 tactical bomber, and it was found on some sort of the field. So why do I think that Ukraine is probably getting ready for some sort of the counterattack? I don't know whether it will be big or small, but those vehicles have been used by Ukrainian army mostly for the counterattack operations, as it happened in Kherson before and also in Kharkiv. Those are very high mobile vehicles and are mostly useless in defense missions. Well, in any case, I'm not the military expert, but from my point of view, you need the high mobility, then you want to move your forces fast on the front lines, and then you stack in defense, you don't need that mobility. Plus, the Ukrainian side moved heavy artillery systems to the place. We're speaking about the Pions. Pion is one of the most powerful artillery systems out there, and the caliber of the shell is 203 millimeters. And as you can see, we use the French tracks. The name of it is GBC 180, that is used to supply the shells for the system in the field. Just for you to understand the devastation that Pion may bring to the enemy side, well, if the single shell aims the building, there will be no building anymore. And if we speak about the big building, it can vanish the part of it. So Russians have two of the vulnerable parts. One is over here and the other one is on the north side. That's why they're moving more forces to the north to eliminate this kind of the horn that Ukraine forces may strike to cut Russians away from their supplies, let's say in Krasnohora. And to summarize the situation in Bakhmut for today, our guys still hold the city. It's a good thing probably. Nevertheless, I would move them out from the city because the risk of encirclement is very high. And honestly, I'm not really okay with the price that we pay for holding that city. But with some positive news coming, I think that there is the chance that Ukraine would react on the Russian attacks in that area and continue to fight successfully, even with some sort of the counterattacks. If you disagree with me on something, my friends, welcome to the comment section just below. Even though if Russia takes the Bakhmut city, it's still not a big victory compared to what Ukraine done in the Kharkiv area and Kherson. You see, the vast area was liberated from the Russian occupiers, and here one city. But if Russians take Bakhmut, the next stop for them could be Kramatorsk, Drushkivka and Slaviansk, and I would not like to see them fighting in that area because there are lots of the civilians living over here. And as for Ukrainian achievements, I think that in a little bit less than 2 months, we'll see the massive counterattack of Ukrainian forces somewhere on the front lines. It's still hard to say where it could be. I think over here on Melitopol, but I could be wrong, because no one expected the counterattack of Ukrainian forces in Kharkiv region. Just some of the Russian experts said about this probability, and Russian officials were just blind about the Ukrainian attack preparation, and it happened so fast and so dramatic for Russian forces that they lost more than 450 tanks out there. And most of those were captured and trophied by Ukrainian army. Even German army in the Second World War lost less tanks for the Kursk battle. Alright, now we know the total number of the MiG-29 fighter jets that we'll get from our allies, from Poland and from Slovakia. So totally we'll have 33 of the fighter jets. 20 from Poland and 13 from Slovakia. And it will be a game changer for Ukrainian Air Force because unfortunately we lost many of the MiG-29 airplanes throughout this conflict, especially during the first few weeks of this war, and unfortunately there were lots of the cases of the friendly fire. Now, luckily, those cases are very rare, but we still lost many of the jets, and this help is crucial for Ukrainian army, because with modified MiGs we may carry NATO standard rockets and bombs, and we are in lack of the Soviet-made ammunition. That is why the new airplanes are great, the same or similar to F-16 fighter jets, but our guys, our pilots already know how to fly on those birds. Yeah, obviously F-16s would be better because they have modern-day avionics, electronics and better radars, but those MiGs were also upgraded and they have new radars and new weaponry, so why not? The Polish volunteer bus went under the Russian fire and one of the volunteers was taken to the hospital in Dnieper, and as you can see, it's not a military bus, it's painted fully white, original color, and the International Fund bought it in Poland. I just hope that the volunteer himself is not severely wounded. I think that they're still lucky that this shell went through the bus and haven't exploded inside. I think it was the tank shell out there. The president of Turkey, Erdogan, said that the grain deal was extended. Russian side claimed that the deal was extended just for 60 days, but officially it was extended for 120 days. Russia was not okay for that term, and in their propaganda media they continue to say that the deal was extended by 60 days, but if you read out the official document, there is 120 number out there. The next big decision of the European Union could be a game changer for Ukrainian side in this war, because we potentially may get around 1 million artillery shells from our European allies. So I just hope that next week the European Union will support Ukrainian efforts to fight for its independence. And also we're getting artillery shells not just from the European countries, but also from the United States of America and other allies. As you see, artillery plays a great role in this war, and with the help of that artillery, with this amount, 1 million shells, we may change the situation for Russia to even worse. And basically with that weaponry we may liberate the vast territories as we've done before. But you see that the scale of this war is escalating a bit because Russia sends more ammunition as well as Ukraine obtains more warfare from our allies. Putin today went to Crimea and he visited my home city, Sevastopol. Yes, I was born out there. This is my homeland. And I know that that city belongs to Ukraine and will be returned to Ukraine very soon. Also, Ukraine changed its policy. Before, the diplomatic solution was declared as the way to return this peninsula, but after all, President Zelensky convinced our government to change for the military solution. And if we will have all of the promised weaponry, this solution will be in force very soon. Some news about the Wagner army. Prigozhin is eagerly looking for the way to take more people to the Wagner group after he was banned from taking the Russian prisoners. So he opened the representatives in 42 of the Russian cities and now hire lots of the people. He plans to get 30,000 more soldiers till May, and they have around 500 up to 800 volunteers signing up for Wagner each day. I think that his PR campaign plays a great role in that scenario because many of the Z patriots are looking for the alternate army. They do not trust the regular Russian army. There are lots of the corruptions and everything, but they trust the words of Prigozhin because he, as they thought, speak truth. Prigozhin has its own interests interests in this war, and he is backed up by some of the Russian elite members. Yes, sometimes he speaks too much and also against the Russian officials, but mostly it's PR, and sometimes he also tells complete nonsense. My friends, I'm gonna keep you updated on situation in Ukraine, especially in Bakhmut area, because it's very crucial nowadays. And if you want to support this channel, just go to the video link below where you can find the link for the Atlas VPN Premium for just $183 per month. This big deal was introduced especially for my followers and expires very soon. So hurry up to join the club. My friends, I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.